So welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be planting some broccoli and I'm going to be showing you how I'm planting it in the ground and how I'm going to protect it from predators. If you've not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you could please do so, because you'll get lots of helpful hints and tips all throughout the year from my home garden, my allotment and also my home kitchen. Now I've got some Calabrese broccoli here that I've started off myself, and as you can see they're really outgrowing the pots. The chance of frost is pretty much past in Kent, or at least we hope so, but I will be covering it anyway just to give it some protection. So, and I have been, you don't just plant them straight out from your greenhouse to here. I've had them outside in my garden hardening off a little bit, so I know that they've got the best chance they can have at surviving if we were to get a little bit of a frost. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've actually already dug the ground and levelled it off a bit. It doesn't have to be as smooth as when you're planting seeds because you're just planting these straight into the ground. So I've dug it over a couple of times, I've levelled it off, I've put that plank through the middle just so I've got a bit of a straight edge because I'm going to plant my broccolis either side. I've also put up a little cane system here that I'm going to cover with some netting to protect them from predators. A cane system with these little connectors is a really cheap and easy way of protecting your brassicas. It's better than, you can use the little hoops, but you kind of need something a little bit more square when you're doing something like this, and this works really well and it's a really cheap and effective way of doing it. I've tried lots of ways, bottles on it. I mean, I know some people have really built systems for their brassicas, but I'm on a budget and I'm trying to encourage other people that want to do it a bit more on a budget as well. So this is a really cheap way. I will put in the description some canes and some connectors if you're having trouble sourcing them. I'll also put in the description a link where you can get the cover from as well, because again, you know, sometimes it's not easy to get hold of things, especially that netting. It's not that easy to get hold of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my broccolis out of the model trays and just place them where I plan to plant them, so I know that they're planted evenly. Gently lift them out. I'm just going to lay them in there before I start sowing them. So you need them about a foot apart, roughly, give or take, for broccoli. You know, different brassicas are different, a different spacing, but broccoli like this are about a foot apart. So if in doubt, put your foot in between to see what the distance is, and that's about right. So I'm going to gently lift them out and place them down the row, so I know I've got roughly even spacing. You know, it's good to start off as you mean to go on. So I'm going to have one row along that side and one row along that side. Now all you need to plant them is a trowel. Now when you plant brassicas, you do need to take them down quite deep. As you can see, they're a little bit leggy. Now you can take them down a fair bit into the ground, and indeed they benefit from it as well. They grow a lot better. I think my father-in-law gave me a tip quite some years ago. What you don't do is you don't bury them past that bit there, you know, where the shoot's coming out of it. You wouldn't bury past there, so you could bury anywhere between there would be perfectly okay. It just gives the plants a bit more stability. So I'm going to pop the first one in the ground. They might need caning a little bit because mine have gone a little bit bendy, so after I put these in I might give them a little bit of support at some point to try and keep them upright a little bit more. But now they're in the ground, you'll find that they will grow an awful lot better anyway. So I don't know about anyone else, but a lot of my plants in my greenhouse they need to go out basically. They're struggling because they're getting so big, it's hard to keep everything watered and everything maintained, so it's good that the weather's getting better. So again, pop that one in the ground like so. This one's a lot straighter actually. You're going to get the odd funny shaped one. That's what happens when you grow your own vegetables. Another top tip I've been given when planting them is to put your boot around it and really firm it into the ground, obviously without breaking the stalk. And what that does, it helps, they say, if they're quite firm into the ground, they're more likely to produce the broccoli heads that you need them to produce. Obviously I can do that. Once I put them all in, I can take the plank away and I can boot round them, as it were. So I don't know about anyone else, but it's a really exciting time at the moment. We're finally getting stuff in the ground. You know, I find it as hard as everyone else to be patient and not to get it in the ground. My poor husband has me bleating on constantly, my cameraman by the way, wanting to get stuff out. Oh, I've not got enough in, it's too late, blah blah blah. But I know that it isn't, because I keep a diary every year and I know when stuff needs to go out, so I know that I'm not behind, and that May is the month where we all start to get really busy. So yeah, whether you firm it down with your hands like that, personally I will go around each one with my boot just to make sure they're perfectly firmed in, because it's just a really effective way of doing it. So all the broccolis are planted in the ground. Despite some of them looking in a little bit bendy, and I thought I was going to have to support them, I think they're actually okay at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to water them in and just see how they do, and if I don't think they're straightening up, I will stick a cane in and try and guide them up, just to get them off to a really good start. I obviously need to water them. Now for this you don't need a rose, you just water at the base of the plant, like so. Give it a really good drink. Some of these went down quite deep, so you need to give them a good water. Same thing with the seeds. When you've just planted something in, if it doesn't rain, then you do need to give everything a water. So what you're going to be looking out for are any signs of pests or anything like that, because you might have to address that. I've already seen a few marks on the leaves of mine already, and I'll just keep an eye on those over the coming days and weeks, and if I think I need to take any more action, then I will do. You know, obviously slugs are a major predator. The net's not going to help that, so you're going to have to keep an eye out for slugs and use the treatment that you choose to use. There's lots of stuff on the market, whether it's nematodes, whether it's beer traps, whether it's environmentally friendly slug pellets. The choice is yours, but you will need to keep an eye out to make sure that nothing gets your wonderful plants. So just finishing off the watering, we've put a little bit of string in between the canes just to hold the netting up. It's quite useful if you can do that. It just gives it a little bit more support. It's not completely essential, but it just keeps that netting staying flat on top and not dropping onto the plants, which can sometimes happen. So there we go, that's those lovely and watered in. So I've obviously marked them up because I'm going to be putting a series of different brassicas in. So I've got a broccoli sign right at the front there. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it with some netting. Now this, like I said before, this scaffolding netting is really good. There's lots of different netting on the market to cover brassicas. You want at least butterfly netting, because again, birds and butterflies are some of your biggest predators. If you don't cover your brassicas, there's every chance you're going to lose them to the birds, or the butterflies will lay their eggs on it and then the caterpillars will eat your plants. So at the very least, go for what you call butterfly netting. Enviromesh is good, but it's very expensive, so this is a good in-betweener. This scaffolding netting, like I say, you can buy a large quantity online and you can cut off what you need when you need it, and it's really durable as well, so it will last you for years and years and years. So I will put a link in the description so you can source it if you wish to. Now I do hope that this has helped and inspired you to get planting some brassicas this weekend. I'd love to know what you're doing, and as always, please like, share and comment. The more you like, share and comment, the more people get to see this fantastic free resource which is YouTube, and the more people get to grow fabulous fruit and vegetables and get to improve their lives.